tea is one of the most popular beverages in the world, second only to water. That's literally how every video about tea begins. It's also where the facts stop, usually. A lot of people, especially those that run in New Age circles, love to talk up the health benefits of tea. They also love to talk about dolphins, but that's something for another show to handle. Now, there are certainly health benefits to tea, but that's not the reason to drink it. Sure, you can delude yourself, psych yourself up, pretending you'll live forever, but really, the best reason to drink tea is that it tastes good. And that's what I want this show to be about. I'm not going to talk about mental clarity. I'm going to talk about taste. I'm not going to talk about, your place in Mother Gaia's live stream. I'm going to talk about history. I'm not going to bore you with ceremony. I'm going to bore you with some science. And hopefully, by the end, I'll leave you a little more informed and ready for our contemporary forms to ascend to the higher plane of existence where we'll rule over the dolphins of Neptune as millennial kings. You know what? Let's just talk about hardware instead. Let's start by talking about different tea brewing devices. I pretty much only have 3 requirements when it comes to a tea brewing device. 1, it needs to easily separate tea from tea leaves. 2, it needs to allow the tea full room to expand. And 3, it needs to just as easily brew 1 cup of tea as it does 4. So I have a bunch of different tea brewing options here. So let's start with this one, which is probably the most synonymous with tea, the teapot. Teapots come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and are generally some of the most affordable options when it comes to tea brewing vessels. Teapots are great at brewing multiple cups of tea all at once, and if you combine it with a filter basket, it becomes pretty easy to remove the spent tea leaves from the actual liquid. However, there are some downsides. Some teapots can be pretty hard to clean, especially the ones that are ornate or fancifully designed. Even one with a simple design like this, the tea leaves love to get caught right about there. If you don't have a filter basket, then you will have to find a way of separating tea from tea leaves yourself, which may require something that looks like this, which isn't very elegant. And even if you do actually have a filter basket, the filter basket itself may not allow enough room for the tea to expand, which can greatly diminish the flavor of the tea. Lastly, many teapots are terrible at brewing a single cup of tea, as the filter basket may not actually extend down far enough to hit the water. Of course, you could just use a filter basket with your favorite mug. The advantage here is mainly convenience. Cleanup is fairly easy, as removing the tea leaves is as simple as that. However, this does have its own set of problems, as this method doesn't really scale very well. You can only brew 1 cup of tea at a time. A more modern invention is called the gravity pot, which actually addresses a lot of problems found in normal teapots. Here, the tea is given full reign of the brewing vessel, allowing the tea to expand as it needs. It also is really easy to dispense the liquid. Just place over your mug, and the chamber will drain automatically. There are some disadvantages though. There are a lot of moving parts in these contraptions, which means something will eventually give out on you. I used a gravity pot for the better part of a year, every day, and a plastic gasket which regulates the flow of liquid gave way, meaning it would randomly decide to drain the brewing chamber. Also, while these come in a few different sizes, they aren't the most ideal setup for sharing tea with a group of friends. Lastly, we have my preferred device, which is just a repurposed piece of coffee equipment, the French press. These are available in a range of sizes and can be some of the least expensive options I've gone over today. Like the gravity pot, the tea is given the full chamber to brew. Unlike the gravity pot or traditional teapot, this one French press can also just as easily brew 1 cup of tea as it does 4. It's also the easiest to clean, as a quick rinse will usually get rid of any unwanted debris. The French press offers the greatest versatility out of any device I've shown you, and can even brew an excellent cup of coffee. However, if you want some advice on that, you need to go somewhere else. Really, get the fuck out. Each type of tea, black, white, green, oolong, yellow, pu'er, and herbal, require different water temperatures to extract the best flavor. Using water that's too hot could burn some teas, while using water that's too cold could produce a cup that's flavorless. I really can't stress this enough. Water temperature is usually what separates an enjoyable cup of tea from a terrible one. Generally speaking, black, yellow, pu'er, and herbal teas will be fine with boiling, around 112 degree water. Green and white tea should get significantly cooler water, around 180 degrees. Oolong should get something slightly hotter than green or white tea, around 190 degrees. To achieve the correct temperature, you have a few options, like the microwave, which works in a pinch but is kind of weird as an everyday method, a standard stovetop kettle, or an electric kettle. A traditional kettle is a good choice, but only because it's inexpensive. They can take a while to reach temperature, and unless you have a thermometer, are really difficult to bring to the correct temperature. An electric kettle brings water to the correct temperature in short order. There are mainly two types of electric kettles on the market. Fixed temperature, where the water is brought to a boil and cannot be fine-tuned, and variable temperature, where the user can dial in specific temperatures to heat to. Spend the extra money and get a variable electric kettle, and if you can, make sure it's one with a digital readout of the exact temperature it's heating to, and not just a dial with a general guideline. Alright, let's recap. Tea requires two things. One, plenty of space to brew. A French press is the most versatile and inexpensive option available to you here. And while teapots are great, they can't touch a French press. Tea also requires specific water temperature to taste its best. This is best achieved with an electric kettle that allows you to dial in specific temperatures. So, French press, electric kettle. Anyway, I hope this guide helps you during your next tea brewing session. If you find yourself in doubt, just visualize my face, and my spirit animal will guide me to your current contemporary form, where we will combine consciousnesses. Remember, just visualize my face, and our spirits will become one through tea.